I hate crime. When things are slow in the office, I either sit back and try to figure out a double for Saturday, or I go through my murder file. I've only been in Australia for a little over 3 years, but every murder that's taken place in that time is represented in my file. Well, I was glancing through this file, just as I'd done at least 50 times, when something hit me. Then something sent me to a newspaper office where something hit me again. After that, I walked over to homicide and an old friend, Inspector Swanton.
What brings you here, Kent?
6 murders.
Oh? What?
6 homicide cases going back to 1946.
Oh? Another of your brainwaves?
Now look, Inspector, this isn't a crackpot idea. It's a chain with 6 links.
Look, I'm very busy, Kent.
Well, you can spare 2 minutes, can't you?
No.
But
If it'll get rid of you, go on.
in 1946, on a Sunday, a famous scientist named Geoffrey Fairchild was found in a hallway in Parramatta, his skull smashed in.
I remember that case. No clues, no motive.
Check. The next year, on a Monday, a successful author, Mark Holliday, was found in the rocks near Maroubra Beach. He'd been pushed off the cliff.
Well, again, no clues, no motive.
All right. Then in 1948, on a Tuesday, Martha Stanton, an English fashion representative, was bashed to death in King's Cross.
Once more, no clues.
Yeah. In 1949, on a Wednesday, it was Carl Fisher, an American motion picture executive.
He was pushed off a building.
That's right. Then, 1950, on a Thursday, it was Pete Warren, a nightclub artist, strangled. In 1951, on a Friday, Gregory Lawrence, an opera star, bashed.
Why mention the days, Kent?
Because there's my chain. The first year it was a Sunday. Then the days of the week were followed in each succeeding year, and each murder was a year apart.
But there were some other unsolved murders in that time, too?
I rejected them.
Oh, you rejected them?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I went to the file room of a newspaper this morning.
Yeah?
Here's what I found out. Each of the 6 who was murdered, male or female, was successful. That was the motive.
Oh, come now. If you go to the police headquarters with a bright idea, you'll have to do better than that.
Okay, how's this? The day before each murder, the person killed was featured on the front page of at least one Sydney newspaper. It begins to mean something now, doesn't it?
Not necessarily.
But there's a pattern to it, Inspector. Days of the week, 1 year apart, and successful people who made the front page.
Interesting, Kent, but if
The rest of what I have to say is even more interesting. Last year, exactly 1 year ago today, Gregory Lawrence was killed. So, if your man goes true to form, the next killing should take place tomorrow.
And the victim?
Well, here's an afternoon paper. Yeah. Lily LaRue, musical comedy star, out here from England to do a show.
So you think she's the next one, eh?
Well, it follows the pattern. She's successful, she's on the front page, and tomorrow's the day. What are you laughing at?
Sherlock Holmes with an American accent.
Oh, very funny.
So's your whole story, Kent. Very, very funny.
You mean you're not going to listen?
I have listened. But now I'm a busy man. So if you don't mind, Kent, see you some other time, huh?
Now I know why they complain about income tax.
What do you mean by that?
I didn't bother telling him. I was too busy slamming the door. I went to a phone, called a reporter friend who owed me some money. When I put down the receiver, he didn't owe me any money, but I had an address. The dame who opened the door was wearing a black dress, white apron, and a small white maid's cap. She was the kind of a dame you like to hear say,
Yes?
but not with a question mark on it.
Something I can do for you, monsieur?
Yeah, I'd like to see Miss LaRue.
Is she expecting you?
No, but this is important.
I'm sorry, sir. Miss LaRue is getting ready for an appointment.
But I've got to see her.
I'm sorry, sir.
Now listen.
I am sorry,
Look
sir.
here, sweetheart.
Celia?
What is all this, Celia?
A gentleman who says he must see you, Mr. Holly.
It's important. If I was corny, I'd say it was a matter of life and death.
Oh? And who are you?
My name's Larry Kent. I'm a private detective.
An American in Australia.
Well, I'll explain some other time. Right now, I'd like to talk to you.
I have a few minutes. Come in.
I did. In the living room, she pointed to a chair. I took it. She was smiling with her eyes. The smile of a woman who's got something and knows you're looking. Lily had long black hair, a perfect olive complexion, dark eyes, small straight nose, full lips, beauty mark on her left cheek. She was wearing a gown that you could read a newspaper through.
Now, Mr. Kent, what is it that's so important?
I told her about the chain of 6 unsolved murders. She listened, that smile still in her eyes. Then it spread to her lips.
Oh, so you think I'll be the 7th?
You could be.
And I'm to be murdered tomorrow, am I?
Maybe.
Interesting. What do you suggest, Mr. Kent?
A bodyguard.
You?
Why not?
What an original way of getting acquainted.
Acquainted?
And I'm really flattered, Mr. Kent, but...
Do you mean to say that you think I crashed this place with a fake story just so that I
It's
could...
been done before, but never so dramatically.
Oh, this is great. The cops laugh at me and you think I'm a stage door Johnny.
But I'm not angry, Mr. Kent. I'm charmed. However, I'm also a very busy woman. Celia?
Yes,
Show Mr. Kent out and give him an autographed picture of me, will you? Good day, Mr. Kent.
I was too mad and surprised to answer back. I just followed Celia's trim figure to the door. Before she opened it, she reached into a drawer and brought out a photo of Lily LaRue.
Here you are.
You can take that photo and you can put it back.
You don't want it?
No.
You're not trying to tell me you were serious about that story.
Listen,
I always do. You learn a lot that way.
Look, Celia, she may be in danger. There's a madman in this city. And if I'm right, he's gunning for her.
But we've only been in Australia 5 days.
It makes no difference to this guy.
Oh, I wish men would go so far for me.
Huh?
The stories men invent just to get near Mr. Rue. Your hat, Mr. Kent.
I left after slamming another door. But I parked my car across the street and sat there. At 7, a sedan pulled up, and a familiar figure got out. Max Perrone, racketeer. I'd had dealings with Max 2 years before, and because of it, 3 of his men were still in Long Bay. He went into the apartment building. When he came out 10 minutes later, Lily LaRue was with him. I followed. They took me to the club Rendezvous. They had a table near the band platform. I got one about 50 feet away. Lily, wearing a flesh-colored gown, spotted me. She smiled, invited me over with a forefinger.
Mr. Larry Kent, this is...
We know each other, Lily.
Oh, then you must join us, Mr. Kent.
Thanks.
What are you doing here, Kent?
Waiting for the floor show.
Don't you believe him, Max? He's here to protect me.
From what?
He has an idea my life is in danger. He came to my apartment today and told me all about it. It made a very dramatic story.
Lily kept talking while I got mad. Max was getting mad too, but Lily, she was enjoying herself.
And so I'm number 7 on the list, Max. And Mr. Kent is my bodyguard.
Mr. Kent has enough trouble guarding his own body.
Yeah, but you haven't been doing me any harm, Maxie.
That's because I've been so patient.
Well, I can see that you boys do know each other. But now, if you'll excuse me, my nose is shiny. You'll be here when I get back, won't you?
We stood up and watched her go. As we sat down again, Maxie boy was glaring at me.
Stay away, Flatfoot.
Why?
Keep off. She's private property. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all he did say. I finished my drink, said thanks to Lily when she got back, then I crossed to my own table. They stayed there till 9. I waited till they were past the cloakroom before I got up to follow. Both our cars were out in the parking lot. I went to mine, saw them leave, pulled the ignition key out of my pocket.
Going somewhere?
The guy had come around the back of the car. I knew he didn't want me to go anywhere.
Let's talk for a few minutes, eh?
Some other time.
Now or never.
Then it's never. Oh! I left it, caught him in the stomach. He went against the car, bending low, chin stuck out perfectly. I measured him off, but the guy behind me had been doing his own measuring. When I came to, I was using the front tire of my car for a pillow, while 1,000 little soldiers were using the inside of my skull for a battleground. I got up, using hands and feet, finally got into the car. In the glove compartment was a flask, in case I ever ran into a snake. I had 3 doses, waited till the little soldiers signed an armistice, then I went calling.
Oh, hello.
Celia wasn't wearing her maid's uniform. She had on a black piece of silk. It looked like it might have doubled for a scarf.
If you're looking for Mr. Rue,
I am.
I don't know where she is.
She went off with a greaseball named Max Perron.
Greaseball. Mr. Rue would not like to hear you call him that. He is financing her next show.
There may not be a next show. After tomorrow, there may be nothing for Miss LaRue but an inquest.
Oh, come, Mr. Kent. The line did not work. Why don't you just be graceful and give up?
Look, honey, Miss LaRue is a nice piece of fluff, but she leaves me cold. I just don't want to see her go cold, that's all. That's why I want to know where she is. You've got to tell me.
You know, if you keep talking, I might start believing you.
What do I have to do to make you believe me?
Give me proof that Lily LaRue does leave you cold.
Uh-huh. There's only one way of doing that.
Oh?
Well?
That is not very conclusive. You are much too businesslike.
Oh, yeah? Well, how's this? Hey. You'll have me forgetting my business.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is my night off. I don't know anyone in Sydney. I have been saving up a lot of friendship.
Great. Anytime. After tomorrow. But right now I want to know where Lily is.
I know where she probably is.
Where?
Well, I don't know the address, but I went there with Miss LaRue and Mr. Perron the day after we arrived. You see, it looked as though we would stay there.
Never mind that. Can you show me where it is?
I think so.
Come on. We were driving along out Palm Beach way.
It is just along here somewhere.
I hope your memory's good, sweetheart.
Oh, it is. I will prove that the day after tomorrow. When I telephone you and remind you of our date.
Now, you won't have to remind me. I'll be throwing pebbles at your window.
You are... Oh, that is the cottage. There, on the corner. The low white one.
I parked the car off the road just about 50 yards away and across the street from another cottage.
There are lights on.
Yeah. And that's Perone's car outside.
There. Near one of the windows. There it is, Mr. Raoul. I'm sure of it.
Fine. We'll wait.
Could we not have some nice, soft music while we are waiting? Oh, but why not?
That friendship of yours. I wouldn't want to get lost in it.
You are careful, no?
Not always. It's just that I know how far my willpower can be stretched, so... move over near the door, will you, sweetheart?
Oh, if that's what you really want.
It's not, but just let's pretend it is while we're waiting, huh?
What are we waiting for?
A move from Lily LaRue or from somebody else?
But according to your theory, she is not in danger until tomorrow.
It's almost tomorrow now. 3 minutes to midnight.
Oh. This theory of yours, Mr. Kent, I would like to hear more of it.
Well, 6 years ago, a man was killed. Then a year and a day later, another person was killed. And so on. Always a year and a day since the last one. Always a brutal killing with no motive. And always the day before, the victim was featured on the front page of a Sydney afternoon newspaper.
And today, Miss LaRue was in both newspapers.
Yeah, which brings up another thing. All victims were well known and successful.
It sounds fantastic.
It is, but it's all there.
6 links in a chain.
Yeah. And a madman waiting for his chance to add the 7th.
Look! The lights have just gone out.
I got ready to open the door. Then I relaxed. Lily and Perone were leaving the cottage. They got into his car and drove away. We followed. They took us back to the city, to Lily's apartment building. They went in together, arm in arm, Lily laughing softly. She was really going to work on her angel. But that was her business. Mine was to keep her alive if I was right. If I was wrong, well, I still had Celia to show for it. I helped Celia out of the car like a gentleman, and we went over to the building.
What are you going to do now, Larry?
Wait for Perone to go.
And then?
Well, at the end of the hallway, behind a big potted plant, I noticed a chair. I'll be sitting in it, waiting.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Well, well, you're down quickly, Maxie boy.
I warned you, Kent.
Yeah. And your boys gave me a warning, too. Did they tell you? There was one standing by my car. Before I found out there was a guy behind me, I gave this to him. Then I got ready to give him this.
Oh, you knocked him out.
Yeah, that was the general idea.
What now?
I don't know. This means a change of plan. I'll have to put him on ice somewhere.
Miss LaRue's apartment.
Let's go. One flight of stairs. We ran up. Me taking the 3 at a time. Tried the door. Locked from the inside.
Here, the silver one.
Lights.
Here.
I had my gun out. Nothing in the living room. Door of another room half open. Light burning. I went over. Kicked it all the way open.
Miss LaRue!
Stand back.
Is she...
I looked. Her throat was red, her eyes bulging, but she was breathing, low, tortured breathing. I got ready to help her. Then it hit me. No one passed us in the hall or on the stairs. The windows were closed.
Larry, the curtain...
Too late. Gun against my back.
No moves. No moves. Either of you.
Larry!
Easy, Celia.
Yes. Easy. Easy.
One thing kept running through my mind. Stall for time. Stall stall for time, my only chance.
No moves. No moves.
You missed this time, didn't you?
I won't. I have this gun. 3 shots.
But you've never used this gun before. It was always your bare hands, or a blunt instrument, or a push.
The gun was always with me for an emergency. I knew that sooner or later I might have to use it.
Yeah, but you had the others so well planned. There was such a good reason.
Yes. The god of good fortune. They worshipped it, all of them. But me, I have to put entries in a book day after day. Why shouldn't I be like them?
No reason in the world.
No. I have as much right to feel a sense of power, haven't I?
Sure you have.
Yes, it's the feeling I have now.
Chloe!
Easy.
She's frightened. She grows more frightened every moment. She knows that in my hand is death. 5 fingers holding death.
Now's your chance to show how powerful you are.
Oh, yes. And I intend to. Just the pressure of my finger, like this. Now.
Drop it!
The gun left my back. I turned, swung. His shot plowed into the ceiling, sent plaster down. I swung again.
Lowie!
Thanks, Inspector.
I've got her. You phoned for an ambulance, Kent.
I did. It arrived in a few minutes. 2 interns carried Lily LaRue out. They took Max Perrone, too. Seemed he had a glass jaw. The killer went with some plainclothes men. He didn't say anything, just whimpered like some frightened animal. Who was he?
Identity card in his wallet shows him to be a Ronald R. Chase. Unmarried, an accounts clerk.
He seemed so ordinary.
Probably was. For 364 days of the year. That was nice thinking, Kent.
Oh, thanks. But at first you laughed at my theory. Now you give out with the heroic entrance. How come?
Well, there's some blokes you laugh at, and it makes them mad. In your case, mad enough to do the dirty work.
Oh. Celia, remind me not to send him a Christmas card, will you?
All right, Lowie.
And now it's getting late. Good night, Inspector.
Huh?
He said, good night, Inspector.
Oh. Good night.
Good night.
Lowie.
Good night.